Hello. We got tired of Emily having fun and playing all the games in a row, so we said, no, you must wait for Ross to slowly read the text box.
No, that's fine. I mean, honestly, it's probably a better experience to voice act the game and take your time with it. I
Possibly.
just, you know, when you're playing the stereotypical horrible Chapter 3 trial in like the first three games, not horrible. Like, he's horrible in the second game. It's just like it's really grating to just like let the lines finish.
It's really a shame
But
that
if I'm
that
voice
one is
acting it,
that one's
yeah.
bad too, because like there's a lot of good aspects to it. I like Acro and Bat.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like I can't pretend it's all bad. But the thing is like Trial 3 in the first game is the weakest part of the first game. Trial 3 in the third game is also the weakest part of that game. Weirdly enough, Trial 3 in the sixth game is the best part of the game, but we'll not talk about that too much right now.
Trial 3 in the fourth game is also really, really good.
Which one's that one again?
That is the one with the the rock show.
Oh yeah, that one's pretty good.
That one's really good, at
Um,
least for its story
It's better.
implications.
It's better than Trial 2, that's for sure.
Yeah, Trial 2 in that game's kind of meh.
And what, like Duel of Destinies? It's like
Oh, Dual
has a
Destinies is a good
blur.
one. That one has the guy with the creepy smile and the school.
Right, the school was good. I actually wasn't a big fan of the yokai one.
The yokai one took fucking forever for like no
Yeah,
reason.
that's the thing. Like it was crazy long.
It was a 3 day trial for the second one. I'm like, Jesus, please give me a
Like
break.
I was loading the lines instantly and speed reading them, and I thought it went on too long.
Yeah.
So, and then like I won't talk about Spirit of Justice that much, but like I mean you've seen the first two trials. Trial 2 is good.
Yeah, so far
Um,
it's going fine. It's your average Phoenix
honest,
Wright game.
I honestly I think that like Spirit of Justice has to be like the second best game in the series.
That's good.
Maybe the first. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on that. It's kind of a gray area with it and Trials and Tribulations for me.
Possibly the best. Hmm.
Honestly, it possibly is the best. Like I can't really think of a. The lowest point is genuinely like probably the tutorial trial, and
Yeah.
that's not even that bad. So.
See, when I look at it, I go like, first game solid. Justice for All really is just Trial 2 and Trial 4. Trial 1's
Yeah.
forgettable. Trial 3 is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Trial 2 is good, but then Trial 4 just fucking slaps, except for like some annoying presents.
Honestly,
That's like a
like,
very lopsided game. It has great music, but otherwise pretty lopsided.
yeah, yeah, the music in Justice for All is insane. But yeah, Trial 4 of that game, like, I can kind of forgive all the presents in that are annoying. Even the Psyche locks aren't like too unreasonable.
Yeah. Third game has some decent trialage, some forgettable ones. The final
Fucking
trial, as great as it is way too fucking long. It takes
yeah, yeah.
forever. Apollo Justice
Fucking
is really clean.
Chad Dahlia Hawthorne over here gets three fucking trials about her in a five trial game. Good lord.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct. Anyway, let's actually play the game.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, we're just gonna have meta conversations about the series for 3 hours.
Yeah, that's correct. Super may or may not join in the future. We don't know yet. By the way, here
Yeah, we
comes
waited like a little bit. But...
here comes the part where Ross seems to forget whether or not he set up the keys.
Okay. Oh, are
Guess
you
I did.
how are you playing with just like keyboard or do you have a controller?
Keyboard right now. It seems that I've set them up in the reverse from what I typically use, but I guess it's like a DS controller.
You should probably start reading.
To make sure the defendant is found guilty. What other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all.
That may be
That may
true.
be true, but why? Why go this far?
Sorry, Maybe I wasn't clear enough. But a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Shut up. Always have been. Always will be.
Always have been.
Always has been.
I don't know how you're gonna do, like, investigations and not trials in a game where literally, like, there's a murder in Edgeworth's fucking office.
Oh no, there's trials in this game.
Oh, there is? Okay.
Yes.
Why is it a spin-off then? Just because you're Edgeworth?
Because you're Edgeworth, you're the prosecutor. The trial's conducted slightly differently, and the investigation phase is in 2D, and you're walking around
Oh, okay.
like so.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, alright, fair enough.
It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe's been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean.
Did Gumfuck not tell you?
The door's unlocked.
Detective Gumshoe? What's this smell? It's very familiar. Blood.
That's why Gumshoe never shows up again, I see. he's fucking dead.
Not your attaché case. What the? What's the meaning of this? Freeze. Damn, they're getting some posing in this game.
Yeah. High art budget.
Identify yourself.
Well, I guess I'll do this voice since you're doing Edgeworth in this conversation. Shut up.
You've got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear.
What?
No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one.
This is a very janky animation there.
My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrust into a multitude of cases in some very frantic and busy days. March 14th, 2:56 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office Room, 112.
I guess when you're a prosecutor, you don't get like accused of a murder that happened in your own fucking office.
Yeah. Another nice thing, the police aren't going to be like, sorry, you can't investigate here, bud. Go get a letter from some old fuck. And you have to, like, spend 30 minutes getting the fucking letter.
Hey, you can just, like, do it.
Yeah, finish photograph of the victim's body,
sir. This person is, like, fucking, like, a fusion going on.
It's okay.
A double voice.
Very well. Please continue investigation. Yes, sir!
Yes, sir! That pose, holy shit. Okay, I'll be Gumshoe. Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Are you okay, sir?
Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene.
When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away.
This is Dick Gumshoe. He's a detective with the local precinct. And the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being.
You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt?
No, I'm perfectly fine. However...
Look what they did to your office. It's totally trashed.
I'll say, the culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud in my office.
Oh, and the murder, I guess. Whoa, sounds like you're getting really burned up over this whole thing.
Gumshoe, you tracked a shitload of dirt in my office. You're fired. This crime was committed in my office, so it's my responsibility to solve it.
Oh, that's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating.
Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we were to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads and information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that piqued my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office?
Okay, instead of like... Okay, so it's like, it's logic.
Yeah, something Phoenix doesn't use, you'll find.
Yeah, well, I already knew that.
I keep the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind.
Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you?
No, not really. Especially because of this.
The key to your office? What do you mean, sir?
If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you.
Fuck you. Logic.
What's that? By finding the connections between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. Phoenix is like, what? These things can combine?
I feel like I've never been mansplained to harder than that description of this is what it's like to use logic.
It's okay. Edgeworth can mansplain.
Yeah, of course. So how do you use it? How do you use logic?
First, I recall information through the logic button, then connect them together. Now to touch the logic button and recall the facts. Connect my thoughts. Yes.
You choose one to... Yeah, okay.
Connect them bad boys. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks, which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir.
There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? Did the call just die? Call just died, didn't it?
Yeah.
What?
And instantly started reloading.
Nice.
You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir.
Discord's not really on the ball today. And that's just reality. Sir!
Yeah.
Yes, well, when you follow leads to this conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, it may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before placing leads together, the logic should flow. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we?
Yes, sir. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir.
I know that. And when I want to examine something, I simply touch the examine button.
If you ever feel lost and want to talk, just touch the partner button, okay?
I'll not.
Give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, sir.
Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose.
Bitch. Alright.
You're not gonna have Gumshoe follow me.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Can't follow me.
Oh, you could sprint.
I'll catch you, sir.
Can you make his AI bug out by getting stuck on the other side of the desk?
I'm trying. It's hard. No, I don't think so.
Well,
I think it's too smart.
It's probably designed to follow your path instead of just pathfinding to where you currently are.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a shame.
They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious nook and cranny.
What a generic male anime character this one is.
That's rude. I mean, he does look generic, but
Yeah,
he has nice hair.
I mean, I'm not wrong. Yeah, but
Let's see here. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area.
looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir.
In other words, he was shot.
Yep. And until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Especially not until the updated autopsy report.
Oh, I'm already preparing it. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene.
Oh, it's an organizer instead of a court.
Yeah.
Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir?
Of course, this is the safest way I know to keep track of it all.
Alright, if you say so.
Keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to touch the organizer button. But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles in hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often.
I really hope they don't make us like present profiles when you can also present evidence at the same time.
Oh, totally.
Ugh.
What do we have here?
Hey, I think I've seen one of these before.
It's a police badge, detective.
Oh, hey, I have the exact same thing, actually. What a coinkydink.
Let's take a look inside. Mr. Buddy Faith.
Buddy Faith.
I like his hat. It appears our victim was a detective, just like you. No, it's personal, pal.
Your files are all over the floor, sir.
It probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer.
Your files, Edgeworth, sir. Oh, and I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless.
I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room.
Well, I watered the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. Just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. Around half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it sparkled.
Does he have a life?
No.
Oof. You're my life, sir. Shut up. Let's see here. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area.
I like how if you click on his hand with the blood, it tells you about the abdomen blood and doesn't even mention the hand blood.
Yep. You can just be assumed.
I don't believe it. I packed those files on these shelves so tight that not even an earthquake can make them fall off. But just look at them. At this rate, the rest of the files won't be able to withstand an earthquake at all.
Earthquake.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hold it on the earthquake one.
Problem to be sure. Once the investigation's over, we'll put them back on the shelf.
Oh no, the chessboard. Ouch, they even knocked over your chess set. I had it all set up, ready for when you got back. Figured we could play a few games.
I had no idea you were interested in chess.
I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so I thought I'd give chess a try.
In that case, I suppose I can set some time aside when we solve this case. Though I don't expect the games to tax my mental acuity much.
Yeah, he's like, oh, since you have admitted that you suck at chess, like, sure, I'll get the confidence boost.
I've seen a lot of people online playing chess, sir, and I thought, I could be really good at it too. Watch out for my teacup.
Watch out for the teacup fragments there, sir.
That killer's going to pay. This tea set.
Yikes, you're really mad over this.
This tea set is very dear to my heart and only could be bought in England. It costs more than your whole month's paycheck.
What? Well, it was like $10? Now I feel like the killer's wasted one of my monthly paychecks.
I got it from the bargain bin.
Yeah.
On sale!
Oh, it's your trophy. The, Knight of Prosecutors, right?
King of Prosecutors, and it's not a trophy, it's a shield.
They only send this to the winning prosecutor, right?
Yes, but I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. As for my own worth, that is something only I can determine for myself.
That's so slick, sir. I'm gonna have to try saying that sometime.
Fortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to his worth to me.
Yeah, Rise from Ashes is totally not canon.
Well, it's a good thing my steel samurai doll was spared any harm.
Speaking of which, I still haven't actually sat down and watched any of that show. What's it about again?
Well, I don't know much about it myself, but the hero of the Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo Old Tokyo, is the Steel Samurai, and his goal is to defeat the evil magistrate and to show geared towards kids. However, its high production values and riveting plot draws in a number of adults as well. Gee, it sounds like you know a lot about this show, sir. Shut the fuck up. Spin-offs like Princess, Warrior of Little Old Tokyo, and the Nickel Samurai, along with the deluge of merchandise and even a new stage show, give it presence.
You sure know a lot. Are you sure you're not some sort of rabid fanboy?
Of course not. Anyone that keeps up with society knows at least this much. That conversation lasted longer than expected. Let us return to the investigation.
Yeah, the fucking detectives are like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm called, sir.
Hey, look, a dead body. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon?
Nah.
If so, it would mean that the
killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here.
Some disposing. I think I've seen one of these before.
Care to enlighten me as to where?
Oh, I know.
It's probably a detective's gun.
Yeah. I was issued the exact same model. I think.
Detective.
I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. I'm the exact opposite of a Dachi. But now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much, except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it.
So it's the same type of revolver as the one used by this precinct's detectives. Do detectives get revolvers instead of handguns?
I don't know.
I seem to have garnered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic and to figure out if any of them are connected to each other. I assume the gun connected to him shooting himself, but anyway.
Yeah. I mean, like, honestly, I'm just surprised that they actually give them guns in California.
They do.
Well, because Japan.
Yeah, I know. But even in Japan, where guns are illegal, detectives do have guns.
Oh.
I think the police don't, but I think the detectives do.
That's an interesting way to go about it.
Don't quote me on that, but I know some people in Japan do have guns. So yes, sir. Nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir. If there's something out of the ordinary right in front of my eyes.
Talk about a contradiction.
Something out of the ordinary. I should look around a bit more. Right in front of my eyes, sir. What is it? You're sort of stepping on it, sir. Where? You're stepping all over it, sir. Where? Where is it, Gumshoe? How's it coming along? Please, I need absolute silence. Fingerprinting lips is a delicate art.
Bullshit, you spam the fucking touchscreen with your stylus and
I never. Yeah, forensics is not delicate at all.
Yeah.
Alright, let's use some of our logic.
Well, probably the revolver and the detective. I mean, pretty obvious.
Yep. Connect them thoughts. Thoughtgasm. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time?
Yes, sir. On it now, sir. What do you mean one more time? I never did. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What have we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. This guy's wearing a gun holster.
So it appears our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver. Hey, Gumshoe, stand over there. Okay, sir. Still loaded.
Oh, really? Okay. As I always say, you've got to look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use the scroll wheels to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use the slide bar or the X and Y arrows to zoom in and out to get at the nitty-gritty. What the fuck am I... Edgeworth, what are we talking about? Probably have to rotate it.
Rotate? Oh, that's awkward. Oh, that's really awkward.
Can you just, like, touch it with your... Like, can you click and drag with your mouse cursor on the wheels?
No. I just wanted to examine the barrel, because that's always a funny conversation. Anyway.
Oh, the amount of bullets is probably irrelevant.
It looks like only one round was fired from this.
Oh, so the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wrestling the gun from him.
Yeah, but he did shoot the painting, which means there should be 2 shots missing. Unless he reloaded.
Or he shot the victim in front of the painting and then moved him for some reason. I don't know why there's not blood on the paint. Listen, alright, it's just a little quick idea.
That doesn't make sense, because Edgeworth came in and examined him. So, clearly there's either 2 guns, or...
But I mean, we don't know how long it was between the murder and Edgeworth getting there. We just know the guy was still there.
Yeah. But the fact is, the gun was... guns were fired twice. If the victim was shot with a gun, that would mean that... Because Edgeworth literally heard and saw the gun being fired. Kind of.
I don't think he did.
I mean, we saw the bullet go into the painting. We saw that. That was something we witnessed.
I didn't notice that.
You didn't notice, like, him holding Edgeworth at gunpoint and be like...
Oh,
he turns around, shoots the painting, and goes, "Was that a threat?" Like that line? Yeah.
Right, okay, no, I did. So it has to be a different gun then, I think, because I don't think the guy just dropped his gun with his fucking fingerprints on it on his way out. Right? Well, maybe he had gloves, but still, I don't think he just dropped his gun. So I think that there's 2 guns.
There's probably 2.
Which means maybe it's another detective. Maybe this is actually the gun of the murderer, and then the murderer has the victim's gun.
So it's 2 detectives, even though he was saying he was a prosecutor.
Well, I guess prosecutors don't get guns, huh?
No, they don't get guns.
Listen, I forget a lot of little details, like he said he was a prosecutor.
There's also the fact that this is the prosecutor's office. Did they say the detectives could come into the prosecutor's office, or was it only a prosecutor could come into the prosecutor's office?
Well, all the doors were supposed to be locked.
Yeah.
And I think that the only reason the door was unlocked, like, it was either they, like, did some, bullshit to, like, pick it open or whatever, or because Gumshoe's been coming here.
It's possible. Gumshoe's the killer. That's why he doesn't appear in any of the later games.
That's why he doesn't appear, yeah.
Did we read this line? I don't remember.
I did read this line. Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
He knew how to put his finger around the trigger and fire it. Wow!
Yeah, like this.
We have no proof for now, but that's a distinct possibility. I think this is about all we're going to find out. We should send the body to autopsy.
Jim! Okay, well, you said you wanted to voice him.
No, you can be this guy.
Why? How could this have happened to a guy like you?
Are you alright?
Don't touch me. Leave me alone. Just leave me be.
Sorry, but I can't do that.
The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't talk about him like some lump of flesh. Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night.
Isn't his name Buddy Face?
Yeah.
Sure, just in a bloodstained suit, pal.
Where are my manners? I'm really sad, but here's my full teeth smile.
Yeah, and I brought my Olympic gold medal.
Aren't you that prosecutor?
Well, yes, I am. I'm Jacques Sportman, prosecutor. Jim here was my partner in crime busting.
I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I'm also prosecutor.
Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir.
So, you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office.
Yes, that's correct.
Then it was you. You're the one who killed Jim.
Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay?
I will not. I know how things work around here. Our prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. And only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door.
That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner.
Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could get in here was me. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means.
Use your logic, detective. Oh, right. So if I ration money, and I like cup noodles, I can afford nothing but cup noodles. Good job, detective. Here's a
Open
dog
and shut
biscuit.
case.
Hell yeah. Bacon flavor. So it was you then. You're Jim's killer.
No way, pal. You got it all wrong.
Everyone calm down. Mr. Portman, correct? If you're a real prosecutor, you should know to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. Sure, one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. My friend died. I've heard all these rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're some of a legend, you know. Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal so I can get your fingerprints all over my glove? A pleasure to work with you. You guys are conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on, then. It's like your room, after all. Thank you, I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there! Sir!
Was it because he got left hanging by Edgeworth?
I don't know. I want you to capture the scene of film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim.
I'm teabagging the body as a sign of respect.
I should probably give them some space.
Oh, you probably check the painting now that he's out of the way.
How's it coming along?
Please, I need
absolute silence. This picture is too important to mess up. I'll leave the man to his art. Mr. Portsman, a word if I may. Jim, I swear I'll find your killer and bring them to justice. You wait and see. I'll be there for the both of us. Now then, you wanted to talk to me about something? No, it's alright. I feel like I'm interrupting their conversation. Hey, pal, how many times you gonna click on the wrong button, sir?
Your jacket, sir. What's it doing on the floor?
Must have fallen off the wall where the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round.
So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well. They dared to shoot the ultra-special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in.
Yeah, that is the
You
jacket
said
he
that
did
word.
wear.
In Trial 4 of Trials and Tribulations.
Yeah.
What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster.
It's not worth getting upset over, Detective. No. Not when there's something more here.
Like what?
I take it you have noticed it yet, Detective. There's a giant contradiction right here in front of us.
Really?
Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. Woo. But I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. It's probably the giant fucking hole.
It's this cravat, because he shoved it up,
This is it. This bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that should be off, I should touch the deduce button with conviction.
I literally, I read that as Deadway, like from Three Houses.
Dedu?
I don't know.
Do you say Deadway?
I don't know. I've never said or heard his name spoken.
It's
so...
Dedu.
Okay.
And when I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things. It's probably the fact that it was only me.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Eureka! This bullet hole is the contradiction.
What do you mean, sir?
It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim, and the second felled this frame.
Hey, that's right.
However, this gun was only fired once.
Hey, that's true too.
Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun! Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight?
I wonder if you can tie another gun to all detectives getting... I mean, that's too big.
Maybe.
By the way, I noticed something, sir.
Yes.
What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame?
Ah, that. It's the secret safe where I keep my stash of... Naruto-full pictures. Oh? Shh.
A secret safe. Oh, I smell money.
I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way.
Roger that. Talk about dusty.
Why does everyone have the exact same safe in Ace Attorney games?
I don't know.
I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while.
I don't see any fucking dust. I had no idea there was a safe here, or I'd have kept it clean for you, sir. So when did you put this thing in?
It wasn't something I'd installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one.
Really? I had no idea.
Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence.
So, what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth?
Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial's in session.
That's it? Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious nook and cranny. Now this is odd.
You found something, sir?
This keypad, don't you find it to be a bit too clean?
Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself. Take my word for it.
You there, the forensic scientist! Yes, sir. I guess I found my soul voice this time. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. Oh, actually, it's a bit lonely without the other voice now. I couldn't find it.
Couldn't find
Oh, there you are.
It looks like it was wiped down well.
I
Took
guess
a
I went
break.
off to get food.
Yeah.
As I thought, it appears that logic is the only way around the setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have.
Connect the dots.
Time to calmly and rationally spin the speak and say.
Time to tic-tac-toe with this evidence. Killer's goal and fingerprints, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe I figured out what the murderer was after.
Oh, what is it, sir?
The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe and for some reason was a germaphobe. Making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe.
I don't know why someone would be that afraid of a single Twitch streamer.
Is Dust a Twitch streamer?
You said germaphobe.
Oh, germaphobe. That's funny. Has he made that joke? I'm sure he has.
I don't know. I barely watch him.
I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other piece of information can tell me about this crime. Signs of a struggle, motive
The
theft.
struggle is interesting, because why is there two people in here? Like, maybe they were, like, co-conspirators trying to steal?
Yeah.
I don't think a second gun does much for theft, so...
There's the possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer.
Oh, that too. Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir?
Precisely. We need to figure out if there's any files that have been stolen.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna shelve files like you've never seen before, even at a library.
Sure, let's give that a try. Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. My dad died. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And? So what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? First, we calmly restore files to their rightful place. You got it! Here, let me help!
So this file goes here and that book goes there. So he's touching these so his fingerprints make sense to be on them, right?
Yeah. Sure know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done. Oh,
It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here.
The bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh.
His fingers were holding against the wood. He like slid down.
Yeah, that's weird. I suspect the victim was killed in a standing position, and he has little monkey hand feet that were bloody as well.
Yes. Hence the prints on the shelf. Now it appears I have developed the forensics' own double voice problem.
And then the guy fell onto the floor, right? Blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out.
Blood on the floor, blood on the floor. Floor is blood. Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now.
It's not weak. You have one, I eat 1 cup of ramen a week. You know I'm no good with blood, sir. Is they actually ever established that?
Kind of. I mean, it's gumshoe, so I'm not surprised.
Right. I mean, that makes sense.
I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture.
I don't even know how to process the blood stains. Is the thing.
I imagine, like with your desk, like put your back to it and hold like your hands down straight at your side, like as if you're trying to like back up more or lean back further. Then you get shot, you crumple, your legs slide out, and then your hands like catch on the ground like that, and then you crumple to the side.
Yeah, okay, so the problem here is the bullet hole is down there, I guess.
Yes, that is the massive problem, is that there's a bullet hole down there. So now there are 3 guns. Sir, wouldn't it make more sense if the second gun just shot twice? No, detective. There are 3 guns.
It could still be 2 bullets if the handprints up there were planted.
Yeah. But anyway. Let's examine some things.
The victim's handprints.
He must have tried to support himself with his hands here after being shot.
Hey, look, sir. My fingers are a little longer than his. There are prints on the floor too.
They must have been made when he was unstable, unable to stand. He dropped to the floor. Okay, so there you go. Appears the victim was in a sitting position here after being shot.
Oh, so that's why the seat of the victim's pants has blood on it.
That would be the logical conclusion.
Yeah, because there's blood around, like, that bullet hole. So this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh?
But the bullet to be lodged so squarely in a file's spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred.
Then I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way. Oh, you know what? Yeah, maybe that's not another bullet, but the file... Oh, no.
The file could have been up on the shelf.
Yeah, I just don't know why it would have been. Because
he was
Gumshoe put them
moving
back where
shit
they were
around.
supposed to go. I guess.
He didn't put shit back where it was supposed to go. That's where it was all over the place.
Oh, I thought he said he didn't.
Put them all back, just you
just
said
as they should be, sir. Doesn't look like
Oh no,
anything
not me
missed.
too. Although it does look like the killer moved the body to flip through my shelves. I wonder if they found what they were looking for. Killer moved the body because it was leaning against the bookshelf.
The blood on this guy's pants proves that pretty well.
In a sense, I suppose.
See, I'm not completely useless, Mr. Edgeworth.
That's why I don't pay you peanuts. I pay you at least in some dollars.
Since when?
Good point. Oops, I didn't mean to deduce that. Nope, wrong button. I could deduce something about the bullet hole.
Probably. I guess it depends on the evidence you have. I mean, you could say that.
No.
Crime scene notes went clean through the abdomen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense at all then, actually.
That's a contradiction. Eureka!
I didn't hear the voice the first time, holy shit.
There's clearly a contradiction here with the bullet hole.
Well, what do you mean, sir?
You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up.
But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir?
Shit! I mean, that would be illogical. The victim leaned himself against the shelf after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot.
That means... Wait, what does that mean, sir?
It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. And it was from this mistake that a current contradiction was born. The order of the files.
I mean, I guess it would be the order of the files. I don't know why Gumshoe would fuck that up if he's cleaning here like every fucking week.
I believe the order of the files is a bit off.
You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir.
We're skipping an E. Oh, no, that is OE. It's just the blood kind of splotches it. But I'm assuming maybe the labels have been switched a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe.
they might have been moved around. But if they were moved around, it was before the murder. Yeah, you see here how the files that were shot begin with the number 0?
Oh, actually, it goes from 3C to OA. Yeah, those should be on a completely different, layer.
Mm-hmm. What are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird.
Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They're exactly as I see them in my mind's eye.
The numbers are all out of order.
Dude, okay, Phoenix and fucking Edgeworth deserve each other. Like, Phoenix said stupid shit all the time. Edgeworth is just a stupid shit saying machine.
Yeah.
Oh, eating the ice cream from the fridge. My mind's eye knew you'd be here. What the fuck are you talking about, Edgeworth? Shut up.
He just, he just saves all of his good lines for when he's up against Phoenix in court. And then,
Otherwise, he's a complete idiot.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta impress him.
Because white binders are so special, so they're arranged a little differently. But from this, we know the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Huh, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out.
You think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved?
They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it shouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe, hand him.
It just they prop it up and it just falls back to the ground on the other side.
I
Oh,
suspect
something
the
broke.
bullet hole is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith, and then put the files
Put the
back.
files back in numerical order, I guess.
Oops. Exactly, then proceeded to shoot the victim.
Well, why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time?
Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime, but why?
Probably the co-conspirator idea.
Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. How about this
Does
shit?
it say... Yeah, what the fuck?
1205, I think it says. This.
Or does it say 609? Oh, it says Gumshoe.
Nice. Thanks.
What is that? Why does it say Gumshoe on there in blood?
I'd say it's some incredibly incriminating evidence I did there. Shut up. Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed.
No, wait, there's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me. Say something, sir.
It appears that one of my files was stolen.
Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation?
Is this what the killer was really after? Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us.
Is there ever a dying message in any fucking murder mystery game that is actually just true?
Yes. Leon.
Well, okay, that's the point. They just make everyone a fucking idiot so it doesn't immediately end the trial.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me.
You can't be terribly pleased to hear about your beloved partner as the guilty party. If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words! They're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it! I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. And there must be some sort of flaw in his logic waiting for me to dig out.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you gonna do?
Stand here and tap my shoulder. What else should I do? What I always do in court, I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or
He's
another,
never cross-examined in court ever.
I'll expose the flaw of his logic with this technique. He technically does cross-examine.
Yeah, in Trials and Tribulations.
Okay, well, also, he technically does cross-examine as well. The whole point of cross-examining is, like, the defense cross-examines and then, like, the prosecution, like, cross-examines that cross-examining. That's why it's called, like, cross-examining.
Yeah, alright.
He's exposing flaws in logic. So when Phoenix is like, hey, yo, he shot himself, actually... Edgeworth is like, you fucking moron. He was stabbed. He's like, oh, oops, I forgot. Shit like that.
Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? It's probably the same as in the base games,
I have
so
to
that's why they give
imagine.
you this option.
Mr. Portsman, if you are ready.
Aw, if you don't have time, you could just say so, sir. Do they even do the... Yeah, alright.
Mr. Portsman's logic. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Further, you messed up the files and made it look like you had committed theft instead. And that's when you moved Jim's body up, sitting in front of the bookshelf. Thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it'll be by his final words that you'll be brought to justice. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to him as the killer. I can hear Jim's voice and he's calling for his killer's arrest. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe's the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence. Rebuttal. Okay. I can press. I want to hear him say, hold it. Hold it!
Yeah, that's good.
You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask. What is it? What do you call the victim Jim? When clearly his name is Buddy Faith. Buddy Jim. Isn't it obvious? Jim's the perfect name for my companion. Jock and Jim. Don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jam?
But Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name.
Well, Jock and Buddy just sounds, you know, off somehow. Besides, he was a third of a bunch of guys that decided to nickname Jim. He talks about the victim like he was his pet. Okay. Do you really think it was necessary to just shove on my shelf twice to do that? That's true. Okay, then maybe his real intent was theft.
Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth?
It's a possibility. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life's getting a little too rough to handle.
I'll have you know that I eat 3 square meals every day, pal. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but...
Poor thing. What an evil prosecutor you're paired up with. What a motive, no? And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess with your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway. I don't know, display lever. Why do you think that the killer didn't notice the bloody letters? Body was covering it quite well, wouldn't you say? That's how he missed it. But judging by what I've seen, it doesn't take much for your detective to miss something. Where do you think you are?
I am. You know nothing about me, pal.
There's a lot of people who can understand from another just from first impressions alone. Can't say I disagree with on that point.
Well, why don't you say something, sir? Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
Despite his lack of attention to detail, I believe the detective to be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it with evidence. I couldn't ask for a better setup for the game finishing Spike. Okay.
So, what are the... I mean, it's presumably, like, obviously something here, just because of what Edgeworth said.
Yes.
So what are the presents we have?
Well, we have our beautiful prosecutor's badge.
Yeah.
Oops. I didn't think it would automatically... I must object to your line of logic. And what part do you have no objection to? It's, yes, well...
Stay cool, Mr. Edgeworth. You're no good when you're all flustered.
Detective's right for a change. How did it come to this? Oh no, I think I'm under Phoenix logic. Calm down, Miles. Listen carefully and think everything through before a little more rationally.
So I guess it's something to do with the logic behind the files being organized twice.
Yes.
Because like they didn't start behind the body or whatever.
Yeah. He would have had to have grabbed, like, the stolen file, so he would have noticed it.
Yeah, I suppose that's it.
Yeah. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portman, that there's a serious flaw in your logic. Heh. Bringing in a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem, I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking, I get it. Haha. You have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible. What's impossible, Mr. Portman? Nothing. The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines. Objection.
He gets his own voice from him, huh?
It's possible that they could have taken the file before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. Imagine if every single one of the killers is a prosecutor, and it's just you going around your prosecution office. Like, it can't be.
Like, yeah.
But it'd be funny. The missing letters and the detective's name where the file should be as proof.
Yeah, I mean, the S is gone. It was only half an H.
If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name being written in blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood.
I think I heard part of the Great Revival leitmotif in this. Which means, what exactly? What does that make this dying message?
It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with a crime scene.
So low! I can't believe a criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see. I'm gonna have them under arrest in no time.
Oh, Mr. Portsman. Brilliant. Absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. Yeah, you win some, you lose some. That's how life goes.
God, everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive.
Ah, but you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however.
What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal?
Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office?
That would be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal.
What the fuck was that? That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. I feel strange after witnessing that. Then why do I sense that you still have something to say? Stop! Stop! Well, I was thinking, you know, there's one other person with a key to the office. What other person? Hey, you there! Yes, sir.
What is it, sir?
The officer's changed voice entirely.
Yeah, well.
Would you kindly fetch me and escort that lovely young lady here for me? A lady? That girl's a member of the building security. Think of her as material witness.
Security? Did you say security? No, stop it, pal. Don't. It's fucking Maggie Bird.
What's wrong with him all of a sudden? I believe she needs no introduction. I've called upon Miss Maggie Bird, a member of security.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, she's cute!
Detective Gumshoe, sir. Maggie!
Miss Bird is a security guard on watch tonight. I see, and your point is? Yeah, my point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in the building.
What?
If you're not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird.
How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room. Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
That's right. I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal.
It's very weird to see Maggie from the side. You always see Maggie from the front. Actually,
yeah,
honestly,
I think
it's
I
this
think
game.
it's a better angle for her, though.
Like, a lot of these characters look really good in side angles.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway.
I did read the line.
Yes, you did. I'm looking for the button. There we go.
It was me. That's right, I did it.
Can we take that as a confession, Detective?
Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So, yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problem with that, right?
Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here.
It's like the fucking shit Gant does, where he like stares at the camera and blinks, but like somehow worse.
Girls.
It doesn't while the line's fucking up too. Come on, man.
That girl's the only one that could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason.
Dude, come
on. Reason for suspicion. It's pretty obvious that Mrs. Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door. Then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all that more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. Edgeworth is just a sweaty mess in the corner, so you're saying she used the master key. Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflex and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. I wonder if there was anyone else other than Maggie Bird who could have used the master key. Seems that the only way to get Mr. Portman to give me more details is to press him.
You see, I could have made a trans joke out of that, but we don't want him. So
we don't want him. Keep him. Who has to keep him? We don't want him either. Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key? There's only one other person on staff at the time of night, and tonight she's it. Stop. Isn't that right, Miss Bird?
His fucking victory pose too. That's true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir.
Wasn't able to? What's the meaning of this? Yes. Moving on. I'd hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated.
What do you mean, unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal.
But you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time. Should I hear Miss... Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Not so fast. I, too, am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say. Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? You don't need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that, Miss Bird, if you please.
I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 a.m., sir.
What do you mean by missing?
What the fuck do you think I mean? As in it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it.
Mr. Portman, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe you would let someone take you in with such words. I'm not...
Good recovery. I'm not lying, sir.
If that's the case, then I'd like to know why you have the master key now.
I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir.
Ha! A likely story. And where's the proof the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again.
You never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Yeah, pal, trust me. You don't want to test just how bad her luck is. I mean, he's right. She's been accused of murder like 3 times now.
That's not even like Maya levels, but that's getting close.
It's getting close. Yeah, Zuper
Unfortunately,
just
I can't
replied
deem
to
this
me.
piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth.
But
But I'm the robot.
you still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. It is as Mr. Portman says, Detective. Can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time for counterattacks with a few facts of my own.
So I guess we got what we need from the Master Key info there.
Don't you think it's a bit early to start jumping at conclusions? Huh, are you saying there's another way to open the door other than with the master key? Oh, I get it. Perhaps you had a spare made for someone else? I'll have you know I have never made a spare, so what are you insinuating? Nothing. Guess I should have known better than to suggest that someone like you would. On top of which, she doesn't know our good detective, does she? She knows our good detective, okay. This game doesn't have, like, the little dots to, like, show which part of the testimony you're on, so it's hard to tell which part's the end of the testimony.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's take a look at some more evidence right now.
The stolen... Wait, oh, check it, actually. Or I can do that. It's probably important.
Just master key to every office in the building. Thanks. Good check.
Fix Edgeworth. Rotate it.
Rotate. It's this button.
That'd be funny if it was just like a giant fingerprint.
On the back it says, this asshole did it.
Yeah.
No.
No, looks like... Unless it's something up with the keychain? No. So the stolen file... Turns out Maggie's left-handed, too. Oh. I don't even know how that'd be relevant, but... Yeah.
Well, I guess it didn't press everything.
Yeah, but I think we can do it because they kind of said like, "Hey, it's time to do it." We can still press things because it might like give us a better idea of it, though. We're both a little unsure.
The rest of shells to weapons on the safe, I'd say thievery. I concur that the culprit's motive appears to be thievery, however. Glad to hear that the great Miles Edgeworth is in agreement with little old me. However, with regard to the investigation of the bookshelves and safe, hey, good thinking asking for my opinion on this matter. Would it be too much for you to allow me to complete a full sentence?
So it might be something related to that. I mean, like, because, okay, so because they reorganized the files, shot him, and then reorganized them again. Do you go to the crime scene notes?
Nice. I didn't mean to press that button. And which part do you have any objection to? It's, yes, well, stay cool, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't have the fast-forward key.
You know, at least you get a fuck ton of health.
Yeah. It's because Edgeworth is so cool and connected.
Apparently, the Great Ace Attorney, you just have the 5 like badges. Yeah, check out the crime scene notes. There's probably an important detail in the description of that.
How do you check that?
It's one of the presents. Second one.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Bullet went clean through the abdomen. Body was found around 205. I mean, she did say the key was stolen around 1. That doesn't really prove anything, though.
I just want to hear this one. Is there anyone in this district who hasn't at least heard of Detective Gumshoe? Good point. He's practically a celebrity amongst us prosecutors.
What have you done, Ross? Jeez.
What?
Really? I never knew I was so talked about, sir. Because it said the funny words.
Oh, he said among. Oh, among. Okay. Good lord. I don't even notice it anymore.
Yeah.
We're holding our collective breath, you know, for when you screw up so badly that you're literally chased off the force.
Kind of like you actually like skipped reading the line on purpose. Wait, what? Is that true, Mr. Edgeworth?
Of course not. That's hogwash.
Ugh, don't scare me like that. I almost had a heart attack there. Something with a dying message?
By dying message, you mean the bloody letters that spell out Gumshoe. I figured that whoever wrote his name must have just wanted to frame him. And just the act of choosing his name is proof enough that the two knew each other well.
You know... Hold on. I'll wait till after this. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and present some evidence.
I would love to. But first, we should listen a little bit more and digest what he's saying. And press him for more information.
So the thing is like, why would they write a dying message and then steal the file that they wrote it on? I guess that's what the actual murder would have done, though, so maybe that doesn't track. But, like, I don't see the point. Isn't there anywhere else? Like, there's many better places to write a dying message. So that's gotta be something. It just might not be relevant yet. You could try presenting it, but...
That's worth it. We have so much health. No. It would behoove you to take a good look at this.
Yeah,
I
that's
see.
never a lie.
But have you seen me? Ah! You're not at the top of your game today, are you, Mr. Genius Prosecutor? Can't allow him to see the pace here. Must remain calm. Only by doing so can I find the fatal flaw in his reasoning.
Knock into your room using master key. No, messed up shelves and wipe down safe. Every office door. Super's like yelling at us in the comments right now, I bet.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door. Then what, Ellie? It says at least Maggie is the prime suspect. What she knows are a good detective.
It's so fucking distracting.
The noise just like, it makes it so hard to think. That's my excuse. Yeah, you just don't get to hear anything about that. So, that might be like the weak point.
They're sure Miss Bird's the only member of security who could have used the master key. There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird?
That's, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Okay.
Yeah, this is when it was
I
stolen.
discovered that the master key was missing around 1 AM.
What do you mean missing?
I said it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer was... Oh, you know what? I bet it's that, like, like he's jumping to the conclusion that she opened the door with it, but actually, like, the victim could have.
Yeah.
That's probably what you have to say.
Yeah, that works.
So... Yeah, so something to do, like, probably on the prime suspect line or something.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, so here. I
Is
think
that...
you present the key because, like, you talk about it being stolen and then, you know, blah blah blah. Well, apparently not.
if there was a way to present him, then I would, but...
Yeah, there's not really profile presenting. Luckily, actually, because I hate that shit. But
That didn't work. It's okay, we have a billion health. Mr. Portman, there's a large flaw in your logic. Really? I think it holds up rather well, actually. What do you think is wrong with it? Nothing. Let's move on.
It doesn't like you at all, sir. Concentrate.
That was careless of me. I can't afford to do that to her. The truth will always slip away. It's him flipping his coat. That's my excuse.
Yeah. No, you tried the key and the notes. Oh,
Oh.
only the prosecutors know of the safes. Yeah, that's what you present there. I think you still present it back there. Maybe not. I don't know which one you present it on actually. If you think it's this one.
Let's try that. There we go. Forgot about that part.
Yeah, same.
So very similar to what happened in Trial 1 where well, actually in Trial 1 we just didn't examine the evidence. This one we did know, I just forgot because I was too distracted by... Remember in Trial 1 of 6 where there was they were cleaning, so they had to close all the windows?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that we missed because we did not see the evidence, because we grabbed it, and that was like the one evidence we didn't check because we're kind of dumb. Also, I just noticed a little part of the top screen's getting cut off. That's funny. I should fix that. Oh, I see what's happening here.
Are you using the Spirit of Justice overlay, by the way?
I am.
Okay.
But that's not the part that's messing it up. It's, oh, fuck. So the y-axis would be this one. So we need to untrim it a little bit. Oh, that's just moving it. No, actually. You're fine doing what you are. Actually. Oh, it's just getting cropped out because it's bad. Gotcha. Yeah, I'll get rid of that then. So I'll just delete that. Then I'll add a source in which I screen cap
some more
it.
mac and cheese. It'll be like 20 seconds at most.
Gotcha. It's not actually cutting off anything important. It's only cutting off the organizer button. So utterly kind of pointless, but, you know. Just in case something silly happens up there. Bang. Much better. That's a little too big. Ugh. Actually, that just looks like vomit. 3DS screen's much bigger, so. Alright, there you go. Looks bad, but I'll just deal with it that way. Actually, wait a minute. Why would I have it like this anyway? Why would I record it like this? Oh, this is a terrible idea. Is Phoenix Wright more of a bottom screen game and the top screen doesn't have much, but this game is the opposite, or am I just stupid? No, the bottom screen in Phoenix Wright games is terrible. Why would I do it like this? Oh, because I was playing Explore. Right. Okay. Well, then in that case, I'm going to remove both of them, and I'm going to redo both. Sorry about that. I totally forgot that that was a thing. I really should have noticed. I didn't actually have to delete them, but, you know.
Did you have the shitty bottom screen as the main?
Sure did.
Oh, that's horrible. I hope Super endured.
It's not that bad.
I guess if it's DS, like hopefully you didn't have the top screen that small.
It was visible.
Hopefully.
You could definitely read it. It's just annoying. It's just like a big flashing arrow for advancing the text that looks really dumb. Most games are bottom screen more important, so, you know. Well, actually, it's about half and half with DS games. Lost Magic, for example, the bottom screen is more important.
I really feel like
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, the bottom screen is more important.
it really does say a lot about like the DS design that most games are just like, I don't know, one of these screens is just a giant button. That's it. You know?
I quite like the DS, even though, yeah, that's
I
unfortunately what it
like
boils
it,
down.
but it's like it worked. It's just like they kind of took that to like the next extreme with the Wii U being like two separate screens, and that's just like where it's too much that it doesn't work.
Yeah.
The DS, it's fine. It just is a little silly to have a whole extra screen, and then you play Ace Attorney, and it's just a giant red button.
Yeah, it took it took first party games for them to really want to use that top and bottom screen effectively. Games like Phantom Hourglass really did a good job with it.
Yeah, Phantom Hourglass was really good with that. Yeah.
Anyway, now that we've fixed that issue, do you wish to continue insinuating that Mr. Bird was set on Mr. Bird?
No.
Oh no, that's okay. We accept Mr. Bird.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll take.
Miss Bird was set on stealing something. Why not? It's the truth, after all. It was also by your logic that we came to this whole thievery conclusion anyway. That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe. The existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. Ah!
It's like Limbo.
Find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accidentally when she was turning everything else upside down. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Yeah. Where'd that come? Oh, he was eating his medal.
Yeah, even I didn't know about that safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either.
Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now?
Yeah, there was just a great revival leitmotif. It's definitely in there.
Curses! Why? What made you...
What's with the angry face all of a sudden?
It's all my fault! What do you mean? It's Jim! He knew about the existence of the secret safes. What did you just say? We were partners, like inseparable, conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes.
That means...
Yeah, I know. I'd only just told him, too. Obviously, it was wrong of me to tell him. Still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief. And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you, Miss Maggie Bird?
Excuse me?
I mean, you are the security guard, right? That's your job. But killing has gone a bit too far, even in your risky profession.
What the... You're still accusing Maggie of the murder?
Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it?
No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir. Plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have a key to his this office.
Which is precisely why he had to steal, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key. Ah!
You can clip that silly Emily scream if you want.
I would, except it was so quiet we couldn't hear it.
Wow, okay. But, maybe it is my mic, because I was actually, not that quiet in this room.
Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be hidden here, unless you retreated from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense. Has he no honor? Well, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out?
You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office.
But I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You're all suspects to varying degrees and therefore ineligible to run the show.
Listen, pal, how many times do you have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit.
Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself.
But sir...
We have no choice but to accommodate his request for now. Ha! Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portman. We will meet again. That's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now, don't disappoint me, you hear?
Can you imagine if, like, they did an Investigations 3, which I know they wouldn't because 2 didn't even get translated, but just bear with me. Investigations 3, it's set before Dual Destinies, and you play as Simon with Fulbright.
Simon with Fulbright. And also, for some reason, his hot sister.
Yeah. Just have her around.
Fulbright's hot sister, I mean, of course.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, we don't know anything about Fulbright. Fucking uninteresting secret identity. God, I'm so angry about that. Let's keep playing this game.
Yeah.
What is with that prosecutor? Can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable.
Please maintain your professionalism, detective.
I'm gonna find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir. But we've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir. True. So then what now? Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch.
That's a good Maggie Bird face. Let's just zoom in on that one and make that one a no. No, it's a terrible emote.
It's way too small.
Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking for anyway.
Really, sir?
Hey, Gumshoe, look what I can do with my little waggly finger.
Look where I am pointing on Miss Bird.
For example, this hallway. The linchpin of his argument against Miss Bird is related to the master key. In that case, this hallway is the perfect place to look for more information regarding the mystery surrounding my door. Anyway, what's up, Gumshoe? Oh, guess I can't talk to you. I was wondering if I may speak with you for a bit concerning this case.
I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth.
I can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key.
She is so happy, holy shit.
I should jog her memory by showing my notes to her through the present button.
She's literally, like, happier than she's ever been around Gumshoe. Poor guy.
Poor guy. Poor her as well. Have you ever met the victim before?
Well, I've seen him a couple of times before when I had to go to Mr. Portsman's office. Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portsman, sir. That sounds like fun. Just once I'd have loved to play with them. It sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shower was Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith ever did was pass him the ball, sir. Second thought, I don't think I'd have fit in at all that well with them.
Miss Maggie Bird, correct? I take it that you were an acquaintance of the detective?
She was under my supervision back when she was still on the force, sir. One day she got caught up in a murder and things started going downhill, so she quit. But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. Or so I thought until a few hours ago. Right before I was about to clock out for the night.
You got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct?
Don't worry, my whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Since I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building.
Jesus Christ.
I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster. And now I even managed to be named a criminal just when I've become a security guard.
That's a lot to go through in one lifetime.
I know, and just when I thought I had finally found my happiness, I wind up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck.
You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bird. Nor do you have to worry about yourself. I'll solve this case and prove your innocence. I'll ask in return for your cooperation.
Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth. You can count on me. I'll do all I can to help.
What is she holding?
What is she holding?
This is my blue croissant.
I don't even know what to call it.
Her hat?
Oh, it's her hat?
Does she have a hat? It kind of looks like a hat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's her hat. See,
Yeah,
she's
okay.
has like that hat. Okay.
You know, her outfit's actually really cute. We've only seen the top half of it, but I really
Yeah,
like
it's really
the,
cute.
the
I mean, you can see her
bottoms.
bottom half right here.
Well, I'm saying in the like conversations, we only see her top half. Oh fuck! Come on!
Pass the ball out over here, ball hog.
Gotta talk to him. Come on. Mr. Edgeworth. Okay. You need help. Sir. Someone call an ambulance.
Ah, the poison.
Talk to him. Come on.
What is this basketball doing here?
That's Mr. Portsman's prized possession, sir. I heard he also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis.
Not a single one of these sports is suitable to be played in a hallway. That is really funny how we... This is like a tournament-sized basketball net. What is a basketball hoop doing here? Oh.
This card's pretty bad tonight, huh?
It's calls. It's always calls. Calls always do this, without fail. For me.
Didn't this used to be just outside next to the building a long time ago?
Swindon, why was it moved indoors?
I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently.
Drag it?
I heard that it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it himself.
All the way up to the 12th floor.
Can you... just avoiding him on purpose?
Is everything alright?
Yes, sir. You must know I weighed myself this morning, and I'm finally at 154 pounds.
Damn. Light boy.
It's like... that's like about my weight, actually.
Congratulations.
Actually, no, it's actually like 10 pounds more.
But I was asking about this hallway in this room.
Oh, everything's okay, sir. A word of oh.
A word of advice, stay focused or you might start to lose even more weight, or might find that there's another voice inside your head.
It looks like you're in quite a pinch, Mr. Edgeworth.
Alright, if you want to do every character, that's cool.
No, you can do. You
That's
can do
fine.
it. That's fine. No,
I actually want to hear you do pain. I think that sounds funnier.
Okay, sure.
To be sure, a murder within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. We must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly, post-haste.
Sounds like a messy case you got on your hands. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open.
How gracious. I won't keep your offer in mind. Who is this guy again?
That's good.
Why are we walking like this, sir?
I'll give you the next returning character, unless it's Francisco.
Ha ha ha! Toya! Hoo ha hoo ha hoo ha! This office.
1203, 123. Hey Maggie, whose room is this again? It's Mr. Portsman, sir.
So he's my new neighbor, I see. I suppose he moved in while I was overseas. No, can't even enter it. That would have been a pretty good place to check.
Hey, can you check the organizer?
Yes.
Go to the bloody message. Stolen file, sure. Can you do that bigger? I was trying to see if it was possible that, like, it's like, oh, if you take out the middle file, it makes it go from room 1203 to Gumshoe, but it doesn't look like it. I'm just always on the lookout for that kind of shit.
It's very clearly Gumshoe.
Yeah. Now, that said, the files being in disarray originally might have been something like that, but I don't think we have, like... I guess they took a picture.
Is there a way of organizing Gumshoe from...
Oh, hey! There are profiles.
Yeah, there are. Wait a minute. Could you get Portsmouth? Gumshoe...
No.
It's hard. It'd be hard.
Yeah, it'd be difficult. Sir.
Sir, I'm gonna kick the door down. Do you have any logic we can organize?
Just those. I guess there's nothing, I mean, like, I don't know, can you talk to... Oh, no, they sent the present shit to Maggie, didn't they?
Hey, they
They didn't do that.
Didn't. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough.
You want to see my prosecutor's badge? That's a prosecutor's badge, isn't it? It proves that you're really a prosecutor.
Interesting. Despite all appearances, she seems to know more than Gumshoe.
With that badge, even I could be a professional prosecutor. Sir, may I please try that on? Just for a little bit.
I don't think that would be a very good idea, do you?
I guess not.
On second thought, they're actually on the same level.
I'm just a lowly security guard, so I'm not sure what I should do with that other than to guard it.
It's like talking to another Gumshoe. Yes, present stuff to Mag. I guess we can.
I guess the
present
key
this.
is probably the main thing that she would know about.
So when did you discover the master key was missing?
By the time I realized it, I think it was around 1 a.m., sir. And I noticed it was back at around 2:30 a.m. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. But I'm sure that between those 2 times, it was not just gone, but stolen, sir.
Cool.
Okay.
Why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place?
It's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window.
Always, you say, except for this time, correct?
Well, I admit that was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. I left it out because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after I had used it that I left it sitting out on the ledge.
That's awfully convenient. She used the master key? Hey, why'd you use that?
It's cool that it takes you to the talk menu when you exit presenting, so you know if there was a new dialogue to say.
Yeah. What do you mean by use the master key? Usually the game hints pretty hard that there's going to be new dialogue.
I'm always really bad at picking it up unless it's like modern Phoenix, right? That just fucking shows you.
I'm pretty good at it, so that probably won't be a
I had to use it to
problem.
open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten his key. I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right? Ah!
What is it?
That's right, I just remembered. The prosecutor who forgot his key. It was Mr. Portsman, sir.
What? Please tell me more, Miss Bird, quickly.
Are you serious?
Sir, really? Even
Yeah,
I
sir.
picked up on that one. Okay, let's go. I can't believe the game didn't tell me.
It was around 12 a.m. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir.
And that's when you loan the master key to him.
No way! It's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. I walked with Mr. Portsman to his office and opened the door for him personally, sir.
I see.
And then, what happened after that? Well, he called for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 a.m., I think.
So in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight.
Talk about suspicious.
I doubt you can say you've never left your keys at home, Detective. I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door.
There's just like a sticky note that's like, I did it.
Damn!
What could it be? We'll have to use our logic, Detective. Yes, sir.
Like, the two things you have to combine are the sticky note and a fucking hammer to Edgeworth's forehead. Like, hello! Detective Gumshoe, you look rather intrigued by something. Care to share?
No, it's nothing, but I noticed that Mr. Portsman calls his partner Jim. And the detective in that Sunday night drama, All My Cops, is named Jim, too. I bet one of them is a big fan of that show. Could you
Is he-
get Jim out of Gum?
What? Excuse me?
Like,
oh, could you? Oh, from the...
yeah.
I was thinking you get Portsman out of Gumshoe.
I feel like Jim is very close to, like, G-U-M. But I don't know
You
why.
could. So, like, maybe he wrote Jim, but then he just used the books
What
to
if-
organize Gumshoe.
what if Jim is actually, is the victim's nickname for him, and he's throwing us off.
Yeah, but why would Jim put his own name?
No, what I'm saying. Oh right, yeah, it was a fake. It was a fake dying message.
Yeah.
See, when I play this game, I have all of these stupid thoughts, and then like I think about them, and then like I dismiss them. But when I'm in a voice call playing this game, I just blurt them out loud without thinking about it.
No, that's okay. That's this game in a nutshell. That's why me and Zuper take 30 fucking minutes to get through dialogue options, like we're doing right now.
Wow. Of course, the tight bond of friendship between prosecutor and detective is great, sir.
The tight bond between dicking around and not continuing the dialogue is great, sir.
But it's nothing compared to the super strong friendship we have. Ooh.
Friendship, detective. I think you're mistaking it with pity.
Shit.
Gumshoe's just like... Oh my god. Gumshoe, I'm so sorry. I didn't... I'm sorry. It's okay, sir.
How could you say that, sir? After all we've been through, too.
That was
right.
mean. That was mean, my dude.
This is really mean, yeah.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. He comes out here and starts waving his coat. Alright, get started. Get out of here. Room 1203. I take it that this is Mr. Portsman's office.
Yeah, you can't mistake it because of that basketball hoop, sir. Oh, that reminds me. Mr. Portsman had actually wanted room 1202 really badly. But since you were already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put him next door, sir.
So why was Mr. Portsman so particular about getting room 1202?
I'm not sure, but I bet it's because of something like his birthday is December 2nd. Oh, that's what it. So that's what his safe is. Yep, that's gotta be it. Can't think of another reason why.
I can think of at least 3. Why am I even wasting my time thinking about this? What if that was his reason for murder? He wants to pin all this shit on him so he can get 1203 because it's his birthday. The door's locked tight.
Yeah, I bet the old credit card trick wouldn't work here, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
This is the office of a highly prosecuted detective. These doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get through them.
Aha, so I guess only a great cat burglar could get in. That must be who our culprit is.
Might I advise you return that conclusion to whoever pawn shop you bought it from.
That's good, actually.
Anything else to say? A minimalist yet classy door made of top quality wood.
It's kind of majestic, too. Fits in really well with the ambiance of the prosecutor's offices that is ruined by the basketball hoop. Even Mr. Portsman seems dignified just because he works behind one of these.
Yes, so why did we allow him into the office? What? What are you talking about? I'm Mr. Payne! Nonsense. A man doesn't become more or less dignified because of where he works.
At least, still seems more dignified than Mr. Payne.
Hey! That was a joke that the Meta Kids made! Mr. Payne. I suppose custodial work can also be dignified.
It is really funny, though, that he's like, oh, the ambiance. Well, there's a basketball hoop and Payne tapping his fucking forehead. Is there something else on the door? I feel like...
Let me in. Is there someone else on the door? I already checked
No.
this earlier, but it never hurts to take another look.
I don't know, maybe Master Key was stolen and used as the Master Key. That seems... Because it was missing from 1 AM, but got it back at 1:30 from... Like, you see that?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of weird. Well, I think you gotta connect them. Because how could it be missing at 1 AM if she used it, and then back at 2:30 if
Yeah.
she used it at 1:30?
Yes. I gotta connect the thoughts. Miss Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story.
What? No way, pal. I mean, sir.
Oh no, he's rubbing off on you. I'm sorry, we'll let you...
Told you.
Allegedly. I told you. You said that you locked Mr. Portsman's office at around 1:30 a.m., correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time.
Wow, nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw that contradiction like a pro. I totally forgot all about that, but thanks to you, I remember it now. You're right, it was around that very time that I realized the master key was missing.
And?
Well, I'm a security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I? So I pretended to lock up his room, sir.
You pretended.
Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking up, sir.
So in actuality, you never really did relock the door then?
Well, I thought that maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly.
Nice.
Well,
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious nook and cranny. The door is locked tight.
but what the fuck? Hello?
So it is locked.
Maybe
you
you
know
have to
what that
investigate the
means.
lock itself.
That means that he locked it himself. Because he stole it, so he knew that she didn't actually lock it.
But I feel like, how do we advance, like, the fucking... Maybe, I think you have to investigate the lock itself to be like, wait, this is locked. But for some
Isn't that what
reason
I
the
just did?
doorknob. You hit the doorknob. It might
Okay,
be
come on.
different. Okay. Yeah, that is weird. Or actually, no, go to deduce, right? There's that feature.
Oh yeah, that's a thing that exists.
Not the master key, but it gave you another one.
Yeah. Eureka!
Eureka!
There's a connection here between reality and the evidence. If what Miss Bird said is true, then why is this door locked tight?
You know, you're right.
Miss Bird, are you sure you didn't relock the door?
I am certain of it, sir. And I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed it himself that I hadn't. Which means... What, sir?
It means that he actually does have the key to his office. Or that the door Miss Bird opened wasn't the one at all, but a completely different one.
He opened a different door, but how can you prove that?
There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is realize that the only reason she knows which door it is because there's a basketball hoop in front of it. So he just moved the basketball hoop.
Yeah. I mean, I guess prints on the doorknob.
Yes. Because she would have had her hand over his...
Oh, wait, no. The number plate. They Danganronpa did.
What? Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think they swapped the numbers.
But didn't she say that he really wanted 1202? Because it says 1203 right there, right?
Yeah, well, he probably swapped it back.
Oh, okay. The prints on the number plate. They will tell us all we need to know.
Everything? Really? Like what, sir? Oh, God.
Like, well, for example, and such as... Well, we know for sure that Detective Gumshoe's dinner will only consist of instant noodles.
Wow, that was amazing, sir. How did you know? Was that supposed to be a joke to cheer me up, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, that's it. Why did I lose points? I don't know. I guess
well,
Edgeworth, like, is so honorable, he makes himself lose points, even when everyone else around him is, like, too busy sucking his own dick to realize he's an idiot.
Pretty much.
The prints in the doorknob will tell us everything.
Hey, you. Yeah, you, pal. Do us a favor and see what you can lift from this, okay? So, what'd you find out?
There's no need to be so belligerently nostril flaring, Detective.
Sir,
Sir,
I found only
Mr. Portman's and Miss Fade's doorknobs on the doorknobs, sir. So only two people's prints were found on this, And that's pretty decisive. Huh, I'm lost.
Lost, sir.
Oh, no,
I don't have to. No. Wait.
Thinking logically, a certain other person's print should be here on the knob as well. Whose print should be on this doorknob? Maggie's. Don't you find it odd that the prints of the person who unlocked this door are absent? You mean? Ah, yes, the door that Miss Bird opened could not have been this one, but a different one. What have we here? I won't rest until I inspect every suspicious looking.
It's
Nook
really
and cranny.
funny that they use the same fucking stock line every time it opens an investigation.
What is this?
Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it. I did it, Mr. Portsman. Wow, what does it mean?
Looks like a note from the victim. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's for Mr. Portsman.
Why wouldn't you
Fact,
shove
I
this
didn't
further
know
into the fucking door? What a moron.
Yeah.
What a maroon.
Jotted it down.
We shoved it back under the door.
Maybe we missed something below the door somehow? I didn't actually see that book at first, so I was like, what the fuck? Why are we investigating this?
Well-crafted, high-quality sofa for visitors. The stitching is excellent.
Talk about a luxury waiting area. These babies are also great for napping, you know?
You would sleep even out here, detective, in a hallway?
Whenever I do, I always wind up dreaming about giving testimony up on the stand.
Dude, fucking privilege Edgeworth. Never been so tired he's fallen asleep in, like, a college campus on, like, one of those benches before. It is not comfortable, but you still do it because you get no fucking sleep when you go to college.
But it always ends the same way. Me getting trounced by a lawyer. Isn't that awful?
Maybe I should give it a try sometime to envision myself winning naturally. It's... Oh. Well, there it is.
What the fuck?
There it is.
The worst way to hide evidence. Isn't that the missing O series files, or 0 series?
No doubt about it. The bloody letters mark it clear as day. Seemed to be a few pages missing. The thief took only what was necessary and left the rest behind.
So, what are these 0 files about, sir? I guess I got something worth stealing on them, huh?
Not particularly. Just a collection of court case files. However, the cases within these files are not mine.
Uh-huh.
They belong to the High Prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were.
Then that means the thief must have also wanted the file for a specific reason, right?
It would seem so. Only the pages related to that case from 10 years ago are missing.
I wouldn't be Ace Attorney without... I wonder why anyone would care about such an old case.
10 years ago doesn't mean it's DL6, obviously. It means it's something totally different.
No, I know. I'm just saying it wouldn't be Ace Attorney without, like, that case from the past.
It's from 10 years ago. What case, sir?
Especially, like, for, like, three games in a row, or whatever, it was, like, 7 years ago, specifically.
Yeah.
Like, that pissed me off. Same number. It was, like, a bad 3 years, I guess.
It was the dark age of the law.
Yeah.
How many times has that been said? Did they say that in Spirit of Justice a lot, or did they not?
No, because they're not like, it's the dark age of the law. They're like, oh, it's the fucking, like, fascist government. Like, it's the same concept, it's just worse and less cringy.
Join me, Gumshoe, or you're fired.
Oh, damn
it hurts, sir.
I can't exercise as much on a noodle diet, sir. I guess you check the
1202.
going on.
These 4 numbers on the number plate alone proclaim this to be my office.
Whoops. Hey, these number plates slide right out, sir.
They have to be able to take the plate off when the room becomes vacant, you know. Although the idea that it can be so easily removed is kind of...
So I guess so it's like they did get swapped, but it's like the killer would have obviously been so like smart enough to not leave prints on them.
I don't see any sign of forced entry.
And according to the guard, no signs that the lock was picked either, sir.
Meaning that the door really was opened with a key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob?
Apparently the doorknob's clean as a whistle. Wiped, they think.
Whoever this thief is, they did a good job at not leaving any clues behind. A minimalist yet classy door made of top quality wood. It's sturdily made, making it near impossible to break into by force.
It's almost majestic, sir. I wish I could be as stately as this door.
Only Gumshoe would praise his door as something greater than himself. Being a detective has its own rewards and a certain virtuous value, I think. If you live up to your full potential, there's a poignant trait that anyone can admire.
I see. So you're saying, sir, that me being me is the best thing I can do for everyone.
Right.
That long pause wasn't exactly reassuring, sir.
Nothing to see here.
I guess got an. Oh, the fucking the basketball stand.
Is this basketball property of Mr. Portsman?
Yes, sir. He's always ready for a match. Basketball, soccer, dodgeball, tennis. Doesn't matter what sport it is, he's game. Although I think it'd be a little hard to play tennis with this ball.
That isn't the point you should be focusing on, detective.
You're right, sir. Now I know what I should be focusing on. Bad Mr. Portsman. Someone should teach him to clean his toys up after he's done playing.
I think we've reached the end of this conversation.
See, I was very clearly slid.
What's this?
What are you looking at, sir? Oh, hey, how about a game?
That's okay, detective. I just found the position of this hoop to be a little off.
You're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a seriously sweet slam dunk.
They slammed, and then they jammed. The position of this hoop is definitely unnatural. I better take note of this.
I am thou, thou art I. Thou hast turned a slam into a jam. Hey, actually, restore health.
Nice. It's as if we've never failed.
Ooh, yeah, baby.
Poking around in this hallway has actually paid off in quite handsome ways.
Oh, so, sir.
In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat. The real culprit of this case.
You know who the killer is? Wow, Mr. Edgeworth.
As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman. We enter the room, Mr. Portsman just shoots us in the face. It's like, oh shit.
Mr. Portsman? I knew it. That's exactly what my logic senses were telling me, too. I suspected it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir.
That is anything but logical. Lady and gentlemen, prepare yourself. That's like me. Like, oh, hi, boys and girl. Come with me. It's time to knock on truth's door. He killed them.
Mr.
Portsman, I finished processing the bloody letters, sir. All right, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here.
Holy shit.
Okay, looking good. You there, take good care of this.
Whoa. Still caught.
Well, if it isn't Detective Gumshoe.
End of the line for you, Portsman. We've got you now.
Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke? It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jock Portman, that you are the guilty party in this case. You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. So I guess you can stay, if you promise to stay out of our way. You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job. I can see right through that unsightly paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl. Haha, who'd have even thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? The legendary prosecutor never lost a single case for 40 long years. But there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Really teaches me that I've got to stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know? Are you done trying to play mind games with me because they won't work? The only thing you should be using that mouth of yours is now is explaining yourself. Although that too will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up. Well, now we full of ourselves, even though you have yet to prove anything. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, how may I ask do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here. Sorry, but we are not finished yet. Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations on something. I'll show you what I'm basing my accusations on. With evidence. Did Discord die?
No, it did not.
Okay, I had a feeling it did.
So, I mean, I think, you know what to do here. Right?
Throw away. Possibly.
Yeah, you present it to that. Because this was just a throwaway ending.
Throw away. The only important bit.
I think the Mr. Portsman's office, what does it say under Mr. Portsman's office? I think that you're jumping the gun if you're thinking about that one.
I'm just looking at it. What are you thinking about?
No, the office. Yeah, so I think you'd go from there, probably.
Nice.
Well,
not yet.
Not true.
What part do you have an objection to?
Alright, so I guess you go for the master key, and then he's like, well, how did I use that? Yeah.
Joey Wheeler, Joey Magic.
Brooklyn Rage.
It's the basketball hoop. You slam too hard.
The prosecutor's badge.
I believe you were able to open my office door with the master key, no less. Wait. Hold on for a sec. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know. Precisely, you were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. That's right. Use your finger to direct this person to open my door with the key. You would ask Miss Bird to open your own office door for you, yes?
Discord like froze for a sec, and it was during the white flash, so I was like, oh, the game crashed.
Nice. Yeah, I kind of forget my key at home. Happens a bit often for my taste, you know. But the room you had Miss Bird open at that time was not your own, was it?
What?
You have quite the imagination. But why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we?
I'm certain that it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir.
See, Miss Bird backs up my story. Yeah, what if you had misled her to fool her into thinking what you wanted? Ha! And how do you suppose I did that?
Right,
Twofold, by switching the number plates on our doors, for example.
Oh no, Discord just keeps like lagging a bit. That's right, they do slide out pretty easily.
Furthermore, you then used one other item to give a very strong impression that the door she was opening was yours and not, in fact, mine. What was it that Mr. Portman used to make Miss Bird think it was his room? The gun. The hoop.
What? The basketball hoop, sir?
It's quite the peculiar fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building. Which is why it left an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor.
Oh, That's very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door I was opening had to be Mr. Portsman's.
I didn't even check the number. That was an extra step he didn't even have to do. There's signs that the hoop has been moved. To sit in front of my office, to be sure. Yeah, I see. So that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture's a little off the track. These go a lot faster than court. I guess because they don't have to do all the court bullshit.
Hey, this is also trial 1, effectively, right?
Yeah. Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me.
Well...
So he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he? I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket. Then you are fucking guilty beyond belief.
Yeah, guilty. 100 years. Actually, instant death penalty.
And Miss Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she... No, what?
So she's clean and nice.
Yeah, look how
My
cute her
jacket's
jacket
not
is.
dirty, I'll have you know. I just washed it yesterday.
Please calm down, for I intend to show who is the one truly covered in slime here.
It's Gumshoe. It's not nice, sir.
Yes, but we're not friends, and also I pity you. Garbage. Okay. Mm-hmm.
You just showed the note there, right? And it's like, you found this sus-ass note under your door.
Yeah, what the fuck is this about, my dude?
Alright.
I don't know what that is.
But it is a reason to suspect him, like...
Yeah, well. I was in my room the entire time.
Maybe it's the
oh no,
office. Like,
it wasn't the
something to do
mouse
with
key.
the
Sorry,
office,
it was
like,
the fuck.
Because she said she left it unlocked. So.
It wasn't the mouse key. It was the fact that it happened again at 1:30 or something like that.
At 1:30?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I just clicked on the wrong thing.
Okay.
It's the only way. Alright. So this button, and you click on... Actually, wasn't it the key that said that? No, it wasn't the key.
It doesn't really say it on any of these.
It said it's... I remember it saying it on the key.
Well... Maybe there's another way to prove it. You might have to press him to, like, get the opportunity.
Possibly. And what were you doing in your office? Do my usual training regimen. Training regimen. Were you going through your law books from start to finish? Mainly battling practice and some weights. Oh, and I jog when I get the chance. Well, you must be the bluffest prosecutor we have.
Sorry, I was eating food, but yeah, I should have said that.
The weakest legal muscle, it would seem. I was doing my usual workout, so... I think I've given you quite a few reasons, actually. But none of those would stand up on their own. Then what about all this evidence? It's all circumstantial. No judge would convict on such flimsy evidence. Clearly this person hasn't been to court very lately. One more little push. All I have to do is find the flaw in his testimony. Okay. Using a master key, of course. Here, you have a problem with that? That is what the master key is for, right? Perhaps you should place an elaborate labyrinth of some sort for people like you. This has to be it.
It's just weird that it doesn't say it, right? It might work.
I just tried the key.
So I guess you try the office.
Wait a minute.
Oh, duh. Okay.
It's the same thing, though. I had your door
Yeah.
dusted for prints. My door? What for? Come on, I bet he didn't find anything. He's sure good at wasting time. You're right, I didn't find anything. And definitely not Mrs. Bird's fingerprints. Her prints. What do they have to do with anything? Let's put it this way. She really was the one who opened your door. Then her print should naturally be on the doorknob she touched. Ah! Further, all of the prints on my office doorknob have been wiped clean off. I think this is a song Johnny Atma covers. I can always assume it's because Miss Bird's fingerprints were on it. But it doesn't change the fact that I was in my room the entire time. Was that really a fact, or is it fiction? Hey, would I lie to you? I have here proof that you were not in your room the entire time as you claim. This is the note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portman. A note? It was left under your door, or did you not notice? And right here it says, but you're out. You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you.
It's gumfuck music.
Yeah. So then, what were you doing and why were you doing? What were you doing? Fuck you.
Where were you and what were you doing?
Don't you think it's time you gave up your little charade? We know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me. And Detective Faith found you out. Possibly because he heard someone coming from the room whose occupant was on leave.
Did Sura fuck not tell you?
Mr. Portsman, you killed Mr. Fate to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. As I said when you'd found the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office.
Dude, imagine being one of the fucking security officers watching this go down. And just what's so funny, pal?
Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutor, as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me, is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the whole world. What?
Mr. Edgeworth just explained it all, and he even backed it up. You're the murderer! Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already!
As I said earlier, it's also circumstantial. It's full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints? Well, I can really confess that I'd wipe that doorknob down as well.
Eh?
I'm a little obsessive-compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched.
Wow.
Which is why I wiped the doorknob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. Well, at least give him this. He's not super interested in women's touch. After all,
Is that
it makes...
something to give him?
No, not really.
It's not, I mean, it's not something to take against him. It's entirely neutral.
Yes. So I guess you can still give him it. It's just, it doesn't really give him anything. It's kind of like...
Yeah, no, it's circumstantial.
It's kind of like going to order fast food and you're like, hey, I want a napkin. And they give you a napkin. Doesn't really do anything. Can't eat it. But, you know, it's a napkin. You can be happy about that.
Hey,
That's what he is. He's a dry napkin. He's not a wet napkin. He's just a dry one.
Well, he was a wet napkin, but he's been airing himself out so much that
Yeah.
he's probably out.
He's a bit ripped, though, because he exercises so much.
Honestly, this kind of dude, I would believe, would have like a fake muscle suit under his clothes just to impress people.
Oh, probably, yes. But he has anime gloves, so he's really cool.
Yes. Yeah, of course.
After that,
Why does his hair look like that?
I don't fucking know. How do you even make your hair do that?
Apparently with a little ring.
I guess.
He's got a ring around his head.
After that, it makes perfect sense knowing Jim and my own prints would be on there.
You made that up just now, didn't you?
Furthermore, as the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Like early evening, for example. Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway? Hey, even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters, although that's no excuse.
Now that's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size.
But you can't prove that, can you?
This truly is the dark age of the law. Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here, sir.
Yeah. Portsman makes a good point. I can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it. Besides, I have an airtight alibi. Airtight, you say?
I only realized that I had just now, as we were thinking. Shut up! I guess it would have been better for us all if I had told you sooner. Memory serves, you came back to the office around 2 a.m., correct? And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi.
Do you really think it's that perfect?
Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself.
Detective Gumshoe.
Sir, yes, sir. I'll go check out his alibi, sir. Be right back.
Just once, I would like him to come back and be like, "He's full of shit, sir. They said he was not there."
Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portsman said. The guys down in criminal affairs said they saw him around 2 a.m.
You see?
All of this evidence points to him being the culprit, so there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere. This strikes me as one of those ones where you have to press every single piece.
Yeah.
You're correct. It was around 2 a.m. Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on me with time.
I remember checking my watch then, and make no mistake, it was 2.
Ooh, give a testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office at 2. And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation with gunpoint. With Gumshoe.
Is as you say, however.
Yes, however, you're the one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me who you saw?
It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see.
Oh, come on now. I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you?
I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprit. But exactly that time, I was in criminal affairs.
So you paid the criminal affairs department a visit.
Yep, right after I left the prosecutor's building, I headed straight for the precinct.
Okay.
Portsman's alibi made she perfect at first glance. There's a one somewhere.
That's the last part.
Yeah, I didn't actually press the last one.
I might think you do that.
Well, we did go around and ask to confirm your testimony.
And it was just as I said, right?
Yes, sir. A number of detectives said that they saw you at around that time.
See, I had the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up my sleeve.
Erg. Impossible. He actually does have the perfect alibi.
What's wrong? Why that sudden sullen look on your face?
Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we've reached the end of the line. It's time to get off this crazy train. You there.
Sir.
Please escort the young lady out. But remember, be gentle.
Maggie. Detective Gumshoe.
Is there nothing I can do? There must be some way to turn this situation around.
Oh, the security camera, of course.
Gumshoe transforms into Mia Fey.
I was thinking
don't
about how
wait.
to make that joke.
Don't worry.
Oh, good lord, Gumshoe! At least she would be transforming into someone who she kind of fits in the clothes of.
Yeah.
If I only had a clue. Did I miss something that can help me cast doubt on his alibi? I need to calmly think this through one more time. With logic!
I was hoping I'd play the fucking, like, Dual Destiny shit. Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Well, it's probably another handgun. Because that hasn't come up yet.
There was another gun. There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One that robbed Mr. Faith of his life, and the one that nearly robbed me of my jacket.
Much
bigger
more
crime.
important, mind you.
Yeah.
However, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once, meaning that it is entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But seeing as how the killer had to steal Mr. Faith's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person, which could mean that there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight. What to combine?
Yes.
Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight, that would also resolve the issue of why my shelves were upended twice. We know that the shelves were disturbed once before and once after the murder, so it shouldn't be much of a stretch to think that it was the work of two different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun and then killed him with it, and once again after the murder by a second culprit, who was the owner of the second gun. If we suppose that the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back, Mr. Portman, it seems I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case. Great, so you finally come to your senses.
Mr. Edgeworth! Sir, what are you saying?
This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I had assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may or may not be the case.
What do you mean?
The person I ran into just now was your average thief.
A thief? But, sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts?
Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality, two culprits stole into my office tonight.
What do you mean, two?
It explains why my shelves were disturbed twice and how there were two guns. Mr. Portman tricked Miss Bird and gained entry into my office.
Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know.
If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about.
Grr.
Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portman was out to steal something from me, which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time.
So then, this would be when the files were put back in the wrong order, right?
Correct. And then just when he was about to look somewhere else, who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith?
Why didn't Mr. Faith come into your room, sir?
Probably had business with Mr. Portman, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess.
Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right? And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into this office to check it out.
Correct. And as the detective, that was the right thing to do.
It did get him killed, though. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there.
Because it was Mr. Portman, Mr. Faith probably left his guard down. But Mr. Portman was not so merciful as to let him live. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him, and then he killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. Oof. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed into my files. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he had also left a fake dying message behind.
You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that?
Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor in my room, and this is where it gets complicated.
There was another.
Visitor, sir?
Yes, and this other person objective was to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize.
The stolen Zero file, right, sir? And then they just left it.
Correct,
out
only
there.
just as they were about to leave with the file, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during the brief encounter.
though the shelves getting messed up twice and the 2 bullets, it was all because 2 different people were doing those things at 2 different times.
Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met with was just a thief and was not, in fact, Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran to the other person is now irrelevant, because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit.
What's so funny, pal?
Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything.
Of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth, after all.
But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right, it would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. But there is still one defining point of your argument for which you have no evidence. Your supposition that I was the first visitor.
Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir.
But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof of this point.
Don't say that, sir. I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I must.
You know something. I find your attitude to be something peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was just a plain old thief, then why is this person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct. Here we go again.
Ooh.
The thief you ran into should be a real suspect, wouldn't you say? You should be out there looking for that thief right now. He might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence, I was down at the criminal affairs. So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left. So you think we should just sit and look for the thief?
Of course! Now isn't this time to be wasting time on dead-end discussions?
I don't think it's at all dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. Okay, then.
So, like, you know that, like, the murder happened after the first rearrangement, but I don't know if that's what they want you to point out right now.
Yeah, we know what happened after the first rearrangement because the numbers were organized. Gum. This theme bumps.
It does. I would press like the last 3. Seems
Yeah,
kind of
that's fair.
important.
I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. But according to Miss Faith's note... Mr. Faith's note. Oh, no, not Mr. Faith, too.
Hold on, I thought we already cleared that up. Didn't we say that Jim left the note for me in the early evening? We had the proof that he left it at a different time, say, just before he was murdered.
I don't have any, no.
You see, so I insist again that I was in my office the entire time. Jesus.
Why didn't you go through there with Jim, Mr. Faith?
Ah, that's because he said he was tired and was gonna go take a quick nap. You know the sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits.
And what of the evidence he brought?
Well, there are things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items, a gun and a pendant.
Gun, huh?
Interesting. This piece of testimony seems too crucial to let slip through the cracks.
Okay.
A gun and a pendant.
Yeah, this gun, which was the murder weapon. And this pendant, which belongs to the victim.
And why were you taking them to criminal affairs?
There was something in a past case file I wanted to compare these two to. But all this has nothing to do with this case right now.
Didn't he say 3 pieces of evidence in the note?
Anyway, I believe you'll find the long paper trail I left to be satisfactory. It sure did.
This is all matching up to what Gumshoe found.
Yep.
What's that third piece of evidence, my boy?
My boy. Only 2 pieces.
I believe the proper phrase here is, you fail.
Excuse me?
You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me.
Well, what are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you.
Well, here's a piece I think you should read. Carefully.
It says that Mr. Faith was bringing pieces.
Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portman.
I can't believe to get tripped up by simple arithmetic.
Where is the missing piece of evidence?
It's.
You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe.
You don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe. Those officers are just like, what the fuck is happening here?
What? Don't come any closer, I'm warning you.
This is all part of the investigation, pal, so don't even think about stopping me.
No!
Hey, what's this? He had this on him, sir. Oh, it's the Blue Badger videotape.
Hello, it is I, Shelly the Killer. Oh, we better send this to him. Despite what you said, it would appear that you have something to hide.
Why would he hide something like that?
There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would unequivocally point to the person himself as the real killer. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail. For the section of the tape that will drive the last nail into his coffin.
Probably the name right there.
The KG-8 incident.
That's a police case number, sir. Does it mean this video is evidence from that case?
Interesting. However, what's recorded on this isn't what's important right now. Let's give the casing a thorough once over.
I thought it might have been like the same as the missing. No, but I guess that was the thief, like the other thief. Oh, well, okay. I mean, all right.
Boop.
That's blood, isn't it?
Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh.
You mean this might be Detective Faith's blood?
No, you've got it all wrong.
No matter now can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth.
Nah.
You told us you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you'll tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way into this video?
Yeah, it's totally suspicious.
Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his personage when you killed him?
You know very well there's no way to prove that.
Not even if we were to examine the tape for fingerprints? If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to are the murderous you and Mr. Faith.
No, impossible. I'm a...
Shit. Alright, well.
Oh my God, Edgeworth, you killed him!
Mr. Portman has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir.
Very good. Get right to defend him. That will be hilarious.
And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. Too bad Wright had his badge taken away. Ah, damn it.
Did that happen at this part?
It may be. I mean, this came out after Apollo Justice came out,
Oh,
but it clearly takes place before Apollo Justice,
Yeah.
so it might be. The blood work came back, and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there.
Here, let me check.
Oh, you check by the age. Yeah, makes sense.
Definitely
32.
young.
But it could still be at like 7 years before Apollo Justice, right?
I don't know. We quickly go into the... Actually, I just fucked up the
Good shit.
layout, the window size. There we go. You gotta be very careful when you mess with the DS menu size, because it's very easy to mess with it.
And as a bonus, they were also able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints off of it as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Edgeworth. I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir.
It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in a murder in my office. Please accept my apologies.
Oh, it was nothing, really, compared to what I've been through, I mean.
Are they gonna clean up that fucking blood?
Yeah, I consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir. If it had been a hold-up or a hostage situation, I'd have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person.
Something tells me we should hire a different person for security detail.
I was thinking that earlier.
Probably.
You know something, sir? That Mr. Fortsman really was one corrupt prosecutor.
What would we hire Maggie Bird to do?
I don't know.
I mean, if someone is that criminally unlucky,
Okay, so according to Maggie's wiki page, so she stops being a waitress in February 2019. Presumably that's when the case happens. And she stops being a security guard March 14th, 2019. So this is like a month after Trials and Tribulations. So I don't know exactly when Bright lost his badge. It could have been like the day after the fucking like Godot trial.
Oh no, that takes like a year, I believe.
Is it like a whole year later?
Yeah, that takes a little bit.
Let's see. Oh, you know what? It was
A couple
yes.
years.
So when Wright became Zach Garmare's lawyer, that was in April of 2019. So it's gonna happen in like a month.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice. That's gonna happen.
Which means it happens 2 months after Trials and Tribulation.
Okay, so unless this all takes place over the course of a month, that's going to be a plot point. Probably.
Yeah, it actually might be. Well, I heard that there are a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he uses is forged, sir.
Forged evidence,
And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons. Ooh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession.
We never did get around to asking what his reasons for breaking into my office were.
Yeah, whenever he got near that topic, he just clammed up.
Although we can be pretty certain it was to steal something.
This is just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes.
Oh, well. Mr. Portman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to that rumor. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this.
Huh? Then Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy?
I didn't say that, but rather there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance of this piece of evidence.
Probably the stolen pages in that.
Yeah.
Or actually,
This
it could be
piece
the
of-
safe.
Or his
It actually
badge.
could be the safe. Oh no, the safe proved that a prosecutor did it.
Yeah.
Probably the stolen series file.
The person who stole this file, the other villain of the night.
Yeah, I wonder who it was.
And what happened to the stolen pages?
I wonder, who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint?
Mr. Edgeworth,
sir. Yes.
I came
Came
across
this while I was prosecuting your office earlier, sir. This card.
Shelly the Killers. What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there?
It's not just any bird. There's the mark of the raven. A three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, detective.
Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? That great thief everyone's talking about. The
Yes.
Phantom Thieves.
It's the mark of the great thief, Yatagarasu.
I heard that thief got banned, sir. I don't think it's anything like that.
I heard it got taken off the ban list, Gumshoe. No, they
But
would
there's
not
no
take that off.
way.
Even though it would not work at all nowadays, they still won't take it off the fucking ban list. Just because of its legacy.
Yeah.
And from the mark of the legendary bird, the Yatagarasu was noble in the end. A modern Robin Hood. They were mysterious and phantom-like. The Yatagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Okay, actually, it's just like the card.
That's clearly not Yatagarasu. That's Elemental Hero Avian. Come on. Come on.
That is how Yatagarasu works as a spirit monster. It appears and then it goes back to your hand at the end of the turn.
Probably based on the same, like, folklore.
Possibly. But we don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal. We do know the targets. During this time, when the game came out, they would have been doing XE's era.
Oh, wow. 2011, huh?
Yep. The Yatagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corruption, or the corporation is... Well, I guess corruption is also true. Is infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent to the mass media. Along with this single calling card. Although it has been a while since the Yatagarasu's last appearance.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, look, something's written on the back.
What? Let me see.
It's the location of where the thief put the stolen files. That's fucking convenient. Oh, wait, no, we already found the files. Right.
So the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu organization. Quite a few keywords are popping up in this mystery. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. For they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago.
It feels like this is going to be a short time. That said, Investigations 2 might end up being after Wright's disbarment.
Investigations 2 definitely has to include him becoming chief prosecutor.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Him looking into Yatagarasu and possibly solving this is maybe why he gets the promotion to chief prosecutor.
That would make sense. Also, I mean, you know, after Lana Skye got taken off the position, they had to get some gay person to replace her. So.
By the way, that's 1000% Von Karma. Same hair.
Yeah,
that's the
yes,
way.
it is. So I want to fucking get started on this one. I want to see my girl.
Well, you're gonna have to wait, aren't you? Because it's 3 o'clock.
Well, to be fair, we were only stopping at 3 for my sake, but I'm happy to go an extra 20 minutes if it means maybe seeing.
Well, let's see. This is a good place to stop, but I will do what we always do. Let's see if there's an intro. The murder that occurred in my office. The return of the great thief Yatagarasu. Thinking back, everything began on that fateful day 2 days ago. Two days earlier. He's dead! He is? Oh, these are the things that make life worth living. Oh my god, woman, that was horrible! I fly. Yes, everything began high up in the air, 9,000 feet in the air to be precise.
I wonder if that's the same plane that, like Brand that Von Karma left Injustice Scroll on. Oh god, this is... sorry.
We're asking all passengers to please return to their seats and fasten their seatbelts.
Yo, is that Robotnik?
That was the whip
yeah.
noise.
That was the whip noise.
She killed him. I knew it.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Oh, do you... No, you don't play as her. That'd be a bit much.
Well, that's what we're gonna leave off. And when we come back next time, we'll figure out who killed
Actually,
Edgeworth.
It is Edgeworth on the ground, so it actually might be from Francisca's perspective. Yeah, well, I guess we'll find out next week.
We will find out next week. Also, we'll find out who plays piano. Also, we'll figure out how the fuck is a plane this big? Jesus Christ.
There are giant planes out there.
Oh, there are. Yeah, I know.
Also, yeah, we'll find out who Robotnik is there.
Robotnik!
Figure out why there's a baby bottle on the counter.
Yeah.
We'll figure out exactly how long that cloud loop PNG in the background is.
That long. That one we didn't have to wait until the next one to figure out.
Well, we're already spoiling things for next episode.
Ah, yes, that's correct. So yeah, good first trial.
6:13 a.m. Fuck, that sucks. I guess they are coming like from Europe to, California. So.
But yeah, it takes a while to get to Europe. Like, what if Europe is also different? What if they were going to like fucking Denmark? So it's like Eurmark.
But like they have Germany.
Yeah, it's
Like,
okay.
They have
Denmark's
quite a-
kinda
like,
close.
like they have like Germany and like Japan and like they have France as well. They just also have like the one place from Apollo Justice and Kurin.
Yeah, that's right. There's also a guy who serves noodles from a ramen cart, which can technically happen in the States.
Yeah, it's just not as common. I don't know. Actually, in California though, like if I had to guess there was a noodle cart anywhere, I'd probably go for California.
I'd put it in New York.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Although California would also probably have that. I'm sure noodle carts exist.
Yeah,
Not as commonly.
not as commonly.
All right, there you go. I gave you an extra 2 minutes now. Haha. Now we're done.
Ooh,
Bye-bye.
all right.